Why don't you just do your job? He who is not worthy to work on humans. I told you, me and my wife, my former wife, remain friendly. She calls me up one day, there's a mouse in the kitchen. She wants me to get the mouse. I haven't dealt with a mouse in years, you know. So I go down to Home Depot. You know what that is, right? Home Depot is a giant place, 5 miles away. You park, it takes you 5 hours to walk there. People whizzing by, all kinds of stuff happening. All these kids work there with orange aprons on. They have cell phones, headphones, internets. Nobody knows where anything is at. The whole time you're there, Joe gardening, Joe electrical, Joe hard. Some guy called Joe in the back. They all call him. He knows where everything is at. So I'm looking for a mousetrap. So I go finally to the place. The kid is there, you know. Right away, I know we got problems, you know. I said, listen, I'd like to get a mousetrap. Now, when I was a kid and older, there was a very simple mousetrap. It was very simple. It was just a little piece of wood with a thing that you pulled back a metal latch. You put cheese or a little bacon on there. The mouse would go get it, and this would release that latch and snap its neck. The job was done. Everyone was happy, except perhaps the mouse. So I asked the kid, and he goes, we don't have any of those. Oh my God, that was a wonderful thing. That was one of the greatest inventions of all time. It was so simple. I said, well, what do you have? He goes, we have the humane trap. Let me see the humane trap. Gets out a cylinder, got a price tag of $19 on there. I'm not buying this. There ain't no mouse worth 19 bucks. Now the kid is excited. This is a humane trap. You open this up. Inside are some little tablets that give off an aroma. They attract the mouse. He runs in. This shuts. You've caught the mouse. It's humane. I said, well, that's incredible. Oh, what do I do with the mouse after I get him? I'm not a collector of mice. I got to give this kid credit. He didn't bat an eye. He goes, well, you let it loose in your backyard. I said, it'll run back in the house again. He didn't bat an eye. Let it go in your neighbor's yard. I said, we haven't given him the lawnmower back. I said, look, you've got something to kill a mouse. I know you do. I know you do. You got stuff to kill weeds and bugs, and a mouse is right around that area. Now you give me what you've got to kill a mouse. No, I'm not making this up. Some of you know it's true. He gets something out like a piece of sandpaper. And he says, that has those pellets on it with the aroma. The mouse runs on there and gets stuck. It's glue. And the mouse dies struggling to get out of the glue. I said, my God. That's horrible. He said, well, it's more humane than that other one. I said, and then I'm thinking, suppose I'm hungry and there's a bunch of food, I walk over and my neck is snapped. As opposed to walking over and going, oh my God, that's glue. I could have a heart attack. I just get it, because I'm in a rush. My former wife thought it was as silly as I did. We're gonna try it out. We put it in the kitchen. The next morning, about 6:05, I get a call. You gotta cover. You gotta come over right now. You gotta come over right now. I throw the robe over the pajamas. Isn't that far? I get in the house. She's holding the cat. Our cat's going insane. What is it? The mouse. We go in the kitchen, and there's the mouse. He's not dead. I got the healthy, happy mouse. I got the jogging mouse. The non-smoking mouse. That's who I got. My wife said, you gotta do something. The cat's gone. I said, take the cat and put it in your bedroom and lock the door right now. Because if that cat gets loose on that glue and that mouse, that's gonna be a mess. And you know who's gonna have to take it to the vet. And the vet doesn't like me either. Our vet doesn't like me. Because our dog broke his leg. Now, any of you people with pets knows how difficult it is when your dog breaks his leg. I mean, it was awful. And I get him to the vets. We put him up on that steel table there, and the vet goes, you people ought to watch your dogs more carefully. I said, yeah, I'll just quit my job and follow the dog around all day. Why don't you just do your job? He who is not worthy to work on humans. Now I'm looking at the mouse thinking, well, I can't shoot him and blow a hole through the floor. I can't step on him and get it on my shoe. I can't frisbee it in the neighbor's yard. What's this? Where's my lawnmower? So I'm looking at the mouse trying to think what to do. And what I thought I could do is put him in a big trash bag, drive over to a park, and put him in a dumpster. Then, knowing my luck, I'd stop at the park, looking halfway normal in L.A., start walking to the dumpster. Freeze, please! What's in the bag? A mouse and glue! You're sick. No, I'm an artist. But I decided that's what to do, so I get the bag out, I start punching some holes in it. My son, who was about 13, comes walking in. You're feeling humane today. So what do you mean? Well, you think the mouse could breathe. Maybe you'll get loose. I said, as a matter of fact, I do. Why wasn't the cat doing his job? Could you leave me alone? I got something I got to take care of here. Oh, I could keep it as a pet. What are you talking about? It's stuck on glue. Well, I can feed it and give it a little water. My wife comes back in. I want it out. I want it out right now. I said, just hold on. Let me work on this. I want it as a pet. And the mouse died. The mouse heard the three of us and just collapsed right there. And I told him, look what you've done. Look what you've done to this poor creature. But it's just an example of how difficult life is becoming today. Why do we get rid of the things that work, the simple things, you know? I don't understand it. It's just a very politically correct world now. My name is Jeff Wayne. I'm originally from Newport, Kentucky. Moved to Los Angeles to become a big star, and here I am in Provo, Utah. And I'll take it! Had to fly, of course, you know. Get an inexpensive flight from LA to Salt Lake City. Of course, you get an inexpensive flight, you got to do a connection. I got a good price, but I had to go through Munich. Flying with her mother and her little boy, about 6, in between us. Kid is up and down, in and out, up and down, in and out, running up and down the aisles. After about an hour, the mother said, I hope my son isn't bothering you. I said, no, but I wish he'd go play outside. Came in a day early to take a look. I've never been here before. What a beautiful, beautiful little community you have here. Very nice. I came down to take a look at the club and everything, and I was standing outside where they had a poster of me, and that was impressive to me. You know, I mean, it's nice. They give us the first-class treatment here. And I'm looking at the poster. I'm just standing there. There's an older couple. They're looking. And the guy looks at my poster and goes, Jeff Wayne, never heard of him. And I'm standing right there. And I wanted to tell him, I've never heard of you either. Because you haven't heard of somebody doesn't mean they're not somebody. I haven't heard of any of you, and you're somebody, aren't you? I must be somebody. They're paying me. And I want to tell you, I'm very happy to be on dry land. This is dry bar, it's on dry land. I've been working cruise ships. It's good to be back on terra firma again. Now let me share something with you about the ships that are happening in the ship industry, the cruise ship industry. And a billionaire in Australia is building an exact replica of the original Titanic. Only it'll have more lifeboats. It's going to sail on the original month and date, go take the original route, stop at the place of tragedy, have a ceremony, and proceed to New York. Now, I'd like to ask you, by applause, how many of you would sail on the new Titanic? By applause, how many of you would not sail on the new Titanic? These are my people. Because I'm superstitious. Not only that, consider you sail on the new Titanic and it sinks. Wouldn't you feel stupid? I shouldn't have done this. And the guy's trying to get Kate Winslet and Leo on the maiden voyage. Yes, and they're going to be playing the music. And imagine if you were drinking, walking around, you've seen them, you hear the music. Am I dreaming? Is it real life? Is it a movie? Who knows? But I thought I would share that with you because it is wonderful to be back on dry land again. And by the way, I want to tell you, I'm proud of being from Kentucky. I know a lot of people sometimes, I'm from Newport, Kentucky. I'll describe it for you. 1974, there was one tornado, 6 blocks of devastation, $25 worth of damage. I go back once a year for my GED reunion. I am white trash. For the politically correct, that's Caucasian debris. Do we have any white trash here tonight, ladies and gentlemen? I could sense it. And I'm proud to be white trash. We're the world's last oppressed minority. Think about that. Any other group, you call them a name. You're a racist, you're a bigot, you're insensitive, but you can say whatever you want about white trash. Nobody cares. Not even white trash. In fact, that is the hallmark of white trash. We don't care. Other groups protest. They vote. White trash doesn't do any of that. And when I do this bit around the country, people will say to me, what's the difference between a redneck and white trash? Well, rednecks are a peg up. White trash is here to make everybody else feel better. Everybody else feels superior. What other group has trash after their names? Do white trash lives matter? They don't care. But you won't ever see that on the news or the media. None of those people care. They're not interested, And that's because we don't. And that's okay. I think it's a good place to be. You go crazy worrying about all this stuff, man. I was born in Kentucky. My dream was to be a comedian. I was a freak. When I was a kid, my friends wanted to be rock and roll stars, actors, or politicians. Can you imagine that? I wanted to be a comedian. So, I was in front of the TV watching all the people, old stars, new stars, young comedians, old comedians. I know I wasn't going to do anything in Newport. So as soon as I was old enough, I moved to Los Angeles to go to the Comedy Store, and that's where I learned my craft of being a comedian, and now I'm a comedian. Yes. And let me tell you something, it hasn't been easy. Because I'm not black, Italian, or Jewish. My mom and dad love me. I had a happy childhood. We weren't rich or poor. I did okay in school. I didn't drink or do drugs. I went to church. I had nothing to talk about. And then I met a woman. Now the landscape of life changed. We fell in love, got married, and had 3 children. And then after a while, things didn't work out, and we were divorced. And I remarried her again because I wanted my house back. And we tried and tried to make it work out, but it just didn't work out. I mean, we really love each other, but it just, I'm talking about 20 years here of life. And we try to stay friends. We have 3 children. I talked to her before I left. I called her up. Plaintiff. I'll be gone for a few days. Now, the problem in the marriage was me. I don't mind sharing that with you. I take full responsibility, and it was gambling. And gambling is a horrible addiction. It's just horrible. I mean, I would just gamble. It was horrible. I was in Las Vegas. You know, I'm playing craps, and people would gather around. They usually do that when somebody's winning. People gathered around to see if I could keep losing, which I managed to do. I was playing a slot machine next to a guy. I was playing the slot for 4 hours. This guy was there for about 2, and all of a sudden he took a handful of nickels and threw it into my tray. I said, "What's that for?" He said, "I wanted you to hear what it sounds like when you win." Then I bottomed out. This is a true story. This was when I realized it had to stop. I lost the money, the rent money, the food. Oh my God, it was horrible. I felt so disgusted with myself. I was feeling sorry for myself. And I'm so depressed, and I'm walking down the strip in Las Vegas. And right in front of Caesar's Palace was a man with no legs or arms with a bowl in front of him, you know, to throw the money. And there I was feeling sorry for myself, and I looked at him, and I thought, I could take that bowl. Now, I didn't do it. But the more I thought about it, what could he do if I took that bowl? I might be out of shape, but I can outrun a guy with no legs. That's when I said it's over. No more of this. And I'm happy to tell you, I have not gambled since. Yes. Nothing. I don't even play games. I'm not taking any chance. And the alimony's paid, the child support, IRS, and some of my investments didn't turn out well. I should share that with you. Then that's not gambling, that's investing. Investing, that's a calculated risk. I got those gold coins they advertise on TV. There was chocolate inside. Because all we ever hear about now is money. Isn't that all we hear about is money, money? Every politician, well, not all of them, but a lot of them, income inequality. We got to have income equality. That's where you take the money from the rich people and give it to the poor people, and it balances out. That's the theory. Now, right now, I'm in favor of that. Well, you got the idea. But, you know, I've been working in show business a long time. You never know what could happen. I could have a hit TV series tomorrow, and then I'm rich, and then they take my money away. And I hear these politicians, redistribute the wealth, redistribute the wealth. I'm from Kentucky, we need teeth. Redistribute the teeth, that's what we need. So I waited till the kids are secure, money is paid off, she's all right, the former wife. I said, it's time to start dating again, looking for a mate, the perfect mate. None of this internet stuff for me. I want reality. That's what I want. I want to meet somebody. See, the initial meeting is really everything, you know. So I was at a party. I met this really nice lady, attractive, you know, bright. Just had a good spirit about her. And after a couple more times we met, and then I said, okay, this is something I think could happen. I invited her out to a very expensive restaurant. I'm showing off. We're sitting down, we're having our little appetizer, just a little chit-chat, and then all of a sudden she goes, okay, before we go any further, I have to ask you this question, and it's the most important question. And I'm thinking, oh boy, this isn't good. Those questions should wait till later, not right up front, you know what I mean? And I said, well, I'm an honest guy, I'll tell you whatever you need to know. And she looked at me and she said, okay, tell me this. What is your spirit animal? Now, us guys may not be smart about relationships, but we know crazy when we see it. And I'm thinking, I don't know what she's talking about. I said, well, forgive me. I said, but what is a spirit animal? She goes, every person inside of them has a spirit animal, a living, breathing animal, and it's just free and wild, and it's what you really are. And I'm thinking, my God, she's out of her mind. This thing is over right now. So I thought I would shift positions, and I said to her with a smile, you know, to buy time, what is your spirit animal? Oh, the biggest smile I've ever seen. Oh, I'm an Arctic fox. I'm white with little black eyes and I dart across the snow. And I'm thinking, I may not even finish the appetizer. What is this? So then she smiled and said, okay, think about it. What is your spirit animal? I said, I'm a dung beetle. She said, that's not even an animal. That's an insect. I said, I have low self-esteem. She didn't laugh. I tried a pun. I said, well, I guess we're done with that. Nothing. No sense of humor. And you know, a sense of humor, if you have a sense of humor, male or female, you're halfway there. That's just a wonderful thing that a human can have, yes. You got a sense of humor, and if you don't, we're in big trouble. Arctic foxes were not known for their sense of humor. Or are known. So that was out. Now, I meet another lady. Beautiful redhead lady, you know. And I'm talking about ladies that are middle-aged ladies. I got buddies, they all want to go out with younger women, you know, and I want somebody around my age. I don't want to footnote every conversation. I want... Good-looking lady, bright, you know, and we were different in our politics, different in several areas of life, and that's okay. I'm live and let live. You know, as long as you're decent and you're not trying to kill me, okay, fine. And she told me I'm a vegetarian. And I told her, I don't care if you're a vegetarian or a vegan or a Vulcan. It doesn't matter to me. But I like meat, all right? I believe in nature. We are carnivores. Our teeth are designed for the ripping and tearing of flesh. I didn't say it to her like that. It's very LA, these people, you know. You go to their house for dinner and the hostess, we're going to have a wonderful health salad. Oh, great, I get to crap like a parrot all week. That particular lady didn't like what I said. She was, well, what do you want to eat? I told her, steak that dick. I want it so thick it stops my heart when I'm eating. Call the paramedics to bring me alive to finish that steak. Cut my heart open and shove a baked potato in there. Maybe a carrot, too. You need your vegetables, you know. So I just told her, you know, you eat what you eat, I'll eat what I want to eat. You know, if you want to eat bark and berries, that's your business. So we go out a couple of times, no push, no shove, nothing. But the third time we went out, she started that subtle push, you know. So I ordered lamb chops. She says, now, before you eat those, visualize them as a little baby lamb. And I gobbled them right up. She said, how could you do that? I said, I visualize myself as a hungry lion. And I realized that's my spirit animal! I'm a roaring lion! And I saw this glazed look on her face, as if we had detached somehow. And then I leaned over and said, what's your spirit animal? And she said, you're crazy. That one was over. Now, I did meet a lady who was a little younger than me, but very bright, very attractive. But she was into sports, golfing, tennis, going out, working out area. I mean, she was really in shape. And you know, because I know somebody that isn't. I live in LA, man. I'm with these actor guys, you know. They're, hey, look at my six-pack. Well, look at this keg. That's what I tell them. So, I went to a different restaurant. You know, because you don't go back to the same places where these things have happened. And I thought this might work out. A little younger than me, but it might work out. We're sitting there, and I'm waiting to the right place in the conversation. I said, I want to let her know I'm hip. What's going on? So let me ask you something that's very mysterious. Perhaps you don't know about this, but you will now. But I'm just going to ask you right out. What's your spirit animal? She looked at me. She put down her knife and fork, and she said, I don't know what my spirit animal is, but my spirit animal can beat your spirit animal. Over. I'm not getting involved with that. No, this is the last one. And probably the last one for a while, because I can't take it much longer. Investing a lot of time in this, a lot of work and a lot of money and a lot of calls and a lot of thinking. Again, a nice-looking lady, She seemed normal. As I told you, I work on cruise ships. We're in San Pedro, California, taking her down to the ship to let her see it, go down a little early, have some coffee. There's a beautiful little part of San Pedro, like a little village. We're walking through it, talking, and all of a sudden she goes, he grabs me. And I thought, is there a sniper? Did she get shot by a sniper? Did a sniper shoot her? I'm being honest with you. What was just, I look, are you okay? And she's crying. What is it? What happened? And she stood up and he goes, there's a puddle. I said, yeah. She said, I think I drowned in another life. I said, well, learn how to swim in this one. What was she in another life, a flounder? Flipping and flopping in a... What is this, people with past lives? Spirit animals? What's wrong with reality? Animals don't walk around thinking, what kind of person am I? What's happening to the world, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, these women are a little younger than me, but I think it must be the educational process. Society at large. In LA, they have what's called feel-good education. The theory is you don't fail the students, you don't hurt their self-esteem. What's the result? A bunch of stupid people that feel good about themselves. Joey, what's 2 + 2? 3. You're so close, Joey. Someday Joey's going to be an airline pilot. You only missed the runway 3 times, Joey. I stopped by a fast food place in LA just to get a drink before I came out here. Girl was around 17, I guess. She gives me the drink and she goes, did you want a straw with that? I said, no, let me suck it right through the lid. She said, you got a bad attitude. I said, you're stupid. I can't repeat to you what she said to me. But I felt like I was back in Kentucky. And I'll tell you what I'm starting to think. I was pleasantly surprised. I was in Jamaica recently. I don't know if you've ever been to Jamaica. Actually, I've been there many times. It has 3 main ports. Each one looks like it was bombed in World War II. Every time there, I go, did the Germans make it this far? What happened? The passengers all go to the beautiful resorts, and it is a beautiful island. But for those of us that work on the ship, if we go into town, unlike other places in the world where people try to sell you things, people in Jamaica swarm on you. They're on top of you. Amen, 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 amen. So on the ship, I go into town to use the internet in town, and you got to walk through these people. Hey, man, what do you know? So I just want to get through as quick as possible. So I'm walking through it. Hey, man, I know what you need. Now, that scared me. Even I don't know what I need. I need Mary Ann from Gilligan's Island on a 5th of Jim Beam. How's that, huh? Hey, man, you need a hammock? Yes, sir, that's exactly what I need. I flew from LA to Miami and got a cruise ship to Jamaica to buy a hammock. Hey man, you want some ganja? Now, you guys know what that is, right? And they offer it to you right there. Now let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I never smoked pot. I work with comics and they'll say, well, everybody did it. You ever notice when you talk to somebody and tell them you didn't do it? Well, everybody did it. No, everybody didn't do it. I did have friends that did. I had no interest in it. I'm not interested in it. If you want to, God bless you. Do what you want to do. But I don't. But I can tell you this, if I start, it's not going to be in Jamaica. I'm not waking up 2 weeks later, naked with the purest left nipple, my hair braided, singing Bob Marley songs. So I get through all this. I'm almost back to the ship when an older black gentleman with a snow white beard and a colorful hat stopped me and said, "Hey man, you want to buy a stick?" I said, "Well, I might be from Kentucky, but why do you want to sell me a stick?" "It's a magic stick." I said, "Well, it's magic. Why do you want to sell it?" "You get 3 wishes with a stick. I've used my wishes." And I'm thinking, what did you wish? You give me 1 wish and I'm set for life, baby. Let me tell you that. But I bought the stick. And I'm going to tell you why I bought that stick. I appreciated that man's ingenuity. He wasn't begging for money. He wasn't robbing. He wasn't stealing. He said, "I will sell something to these Americans because they buy anything." He saw a stick. I'll sell him that stick. Couldn't we use a little more of that in the world, ladies and gentlemen? People thinking how they can do something because I worry about the world. You know, I see, not all of them, but some of my friends' kids, the overpraise of children all the time. I mean, I live in LA and these kids, you know, you go to dinner. When I was a kid, you were seen and not heard. Therefore, you learn something, discipline, how to behave, and maybe you learn something from adult conversation. Now you go to these people's houses and all of a sudden they'll go, "Stop, let's hear what Oliver has to say." You know, Oliver's 8. I don't care what Oliver has to say. Okay, so he killed a worm today. Big deal. You know, and the parents are going, "He's a genius." And you look at him, There's nothing wrong with positive reinforcement. When you're telling kids you're a genius, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're setting them up for a bad deal. And these kids, I just don't understand. They're 26 years old. I think that healthcare, the Obama healthcare, started all this because they would sell it by going, "And you can keep your kids on the insurance policy till they're 26. You're not a kid when you're 26. By the age of 26, I had been married twice and had 4 cars and had been in jail. It was nothing bad. Non-payment of fines, that's all it was. But at 26, what is that? They're already, you can't get them out of the house. Some of you may remember this. When I was a kid, I loved my mom and dad, but I wanted out of the house. Does anybody remember that? I want out. Now you can't get them out. You come home, they're like giant manatees lying around the living room. Get out. You slug, you big slug. And they crawl down into the basement. All these kids are living in the basement now. And one day they gotta come out. That's the zombie apocalypse when they come out of the basement. I have friends or kid, the kid must be 30. He lives in the, I said, "What's he doing?" "Well, he's looking for a job." "In the basement?" "Well, he's got the internet." "He's got a girlfriend." "In the basement?" "On the internet." Yeah, that must be a real romance. I I'm afraid I'm going to be over there about 5 years from now. Come out of the basement. My parents said I could stay in the basement. Your parents have been dead for 5 years. So many people today think they're supposed to be given something. We're supposed to be given something. I think some young person soon is going to say, the government should give us free toilet paper. It's not my fault I crap. Because we are becoming a politically correct society. Changing our history, changing our language. They don't use the word problems anymore. Now it's an issue. You're not going to a doctor, you're going to a caregiver. You're not going to a hospital, you're going to a wellness center. Everything sounds better, but it's still the same thing. It's just to confuse us. I did a show at UCLA, I told a joke. I said, my grandma's going deaf, we can't afford a hearing aid, so we stopped talking to her. The lady that booked the show stopped me. She said, the term is no longer deaf. It's hearing impaired. I said, it doesn't matter what you say. She ain't going to hear it. The LA Times announced they will no longer use the term illegal alien. They believe it's insensitive. I thought it was just a definition. You have legal aliens and illegal. That's as simple as that. That's all it is. But it's insensitive. Pretty soon we'll call burglars unwelcome house guests. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring the show to closure. I want to thank you for empowering me to make you laugh. I hope you appreciated the diversity of the material. If you didn't laugh, you're in denial. And remember, you were entitled. You were entitled to laugh. You're entitled to have a good time. It's your right to have a good time. And if you were offended, that's just too bad. Because everybody's offended by something today. It doesn't matter. In my act, I could have somebody that was on the plane with a kid, and their kid ran around, oh, you're offended by that. Or somebody from Kentucky, I'm not white trash. Of course you're not. Go eat your pork rinds. I believe in spirit animals. Of course you do. You must be an endangered species. I think we should get free toilet paper. My parents' basement is a nice place. You know, it's a culture of complaint. You know, you're not going to like everything in the world. You got to learn to accept it. And I'll tell you what, wherever you're from, be proud of that. Whoever you are, be proud of that. You know, I'm from Kentucky. People always made fun of Kentucky. And I used to say there's good stuff about Kentucky. No matter where you're from. Man, you're from a great state here. You know, when I was a kid, the first thing I learned about this state was the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. Yeah. I'm talking about, they would watch this on TV. That's when we had 3 networks. This was a big deal. You sit and listen to that choir. And I used to say, I'm going to be their opening act someday. And the beauty of this state that you have, and the Salt Lake, and the history. And so I started thinking, when people attack Kentucky, we have a lot to be proud of in Kentucky, by gosh. Abraham Lincoln was from Kentucky. That's right. Man o' War, the greatest racehorse, was from Kentucky. Muhammad Ali was from Kentucky. George Clooney is from Kentucky. And we have Kentucky Fried Chicken. Wherever you go in the world, ladies and gentlemen, there's Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know that, don't you? And man, I'll tell you something. I go all over the world, and wherever I go, there's Kentucky Fried Chicken. Everywhere. Guam, Hong Kong, South America. I travel. With this act, you have to. So I was in Denmark. I'm eating my Kentucky Fried Chicken. And somebody told this lady I was from Kentucky, and she walked over, a Danish woman, and she goes, is that all you people eating Kentucky is fried chicken? I said, yes. Because I didn't want to talk to her. I wanted to eat the chicken. She said, don't you know the grease will clog up your veins? I said, that's what we make bourbon for. It cuts right through it. You've been a wonderful audience. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you.